Hello and welcome to Cyberpeace TV show Unhacked. अनहैक्ड एक साइबर पीस टीवी शो है जहां हम साइबर सिक्योरिटी एक्सपर्ट्स और एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को साथ लेकर आते हैं जो ग्लोबली साइबर पीस के लिए कमिटेड है. In this show, we will discuss latest trends, challenges, innovations, and the role that government policy making plays in cybersecurity. Welcome. Today, we have only positive news for you because our guest today is someone who is a businessman turned funny man. From his late in life pursuit of comedy to being the winner of the CEO's Got Talent trophy, he is one of India's top 20 comedians to watch as rated by CNN IBM. With numerous acclaimed stand-up acts, global Netflix special, and several performances at renowned festivals alongside comedy legends, we have with us none other than Atul Khatri today. Atul, welcome.
Thank you, Mansi. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It feels great to connect with you on this lovely rainy morning in Mumbai.
Yeah, it feels good,
Today
right?
morning, but
After the
feels
hot.
good, but yeah, exactly. And Mumbai reads the rains right now because of the water shortage.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
no one's
yeah.
complaining. No Mumbaiker should complain now.
No, I'm sure we are going to be flooded with a lot of memes now. It's already started the meme fest. अभी तो और आना बाकी है. Now, now streets will start flooding up, and then we'll have like a great meme fest in Bombay.
Absolutely.
Atul, you know what? I have been told that I have to confirm with you before we begin this interview whether you are in human and not an AI here to hack into our laughter database. Because if you are an AI trying to steal our joke, then we might have to upgrade our antivirus to comedy protection. Can you confirm that you are in fact human?
So let me tell you, most comedians, they don't steal jokes. So first of all, that is one guarantee to you that I am not a robot, but I am a human being. You can pinch me if you want. I am susceptible to emotions, to feel and touch, and I'm a fourth-dimensional thing. It's not a 3D or a 2D kind of a robot image. Okay, so this is a true Atul Khatri. Okay, you can see my eyebrows are exactly Sindhi eyebrows. This is no robot could copy this look.
Right, but you know you're right. Most stand-up comedians don't steal jokes; they just recycle their jokes.
We recycle our own jokes. We don't recycle other people's.
Absolutely, yes. So Atul, you know, I think every cyber security comes with one mandate, right? Which is a password. Now, किसी का पासवर्ड 123 होता है because it's very easy to remember it. क्योंकि वो तो भूलना मुश्किल है, right? Password 123, but password 123 is कुछ मतलब it's like they just don't bother with how secure that is. It's like I remember it, but they don't understand that somebody else also might remember that, right? What do you think about this?
No, I think first of all, typically human beings are very lazy. They don't think too much. There's already too much stress in your head. You have to file your GST returns every month. You have to file your advance tax. Itna pressure hota hai. People don't want to put pressurized now with a password. And there's so many now apps, and every app, you want to have a different password. So I think 123, even though it's a very basic thing, first of all, please don't use 123 4. Basically, it's very easy because if you see on your keyboard 12345, it's up to 0 is over there. People think that this is very, very unique. कोई मुझे copy नहीं करेगा, not realizing that every third person on having a computer is using the same password. Yeah, so please do not use 123. Don't even use 12345 up to 0 because that's very, very evident. Yeah, I'm thanks to my earlier computer background and all that, and I've seen how people's computers have been, passwords have been stolen, accounts have been hacked, and things like that. And sometimes it is as simple as I remember talking to clients, sir, what was your password? And we should be asking that on the phone, but sometimes when the account got hacked, you think it's not simple. My name at 123. I said, stop. That is so unique. मतलब कोई अंधा hacker भी होगा, बुद्धू hacker भी होगा. He will come to know exactly what your password is.
Like a newbie, they're like, चलो इसका नाम डाल के देख लेते हैं, try करते हैं.
I think best password should be, I'll tell you what. Advice I give, will have a lot of affairs in your life. Because you'll have a lot of boyfriends and girlfriends. And the only way to be in touch with them mentally and emotionally is using their names and their birthdays as passwords. So, even though they're out of your life, but every day you remember them somehow by putting their, their name and with their birthdays and that or some memories if you have of them as your password. I think that's really the best thing. People, one advice, they have a lot of affairs in your life. Finally get married to one person when have a lot of affairs because they will help you in your passwords later on. और कुछ नहीं है.
अच्छा, so on that note I have to ask you कि आपने
हाँ.
कभी पासवर्ड रखा है अपने एक्स का?
मेरा अभी भी सब पासवर्ड मेरे सब एक्सेस के नाम पे ही है. My exes were all my exes were my wife only. I didn't have any other affair. But uh, उसके नाम की काफी वेरिएशंस करके मैंने अलग अलग पासवर्ड बनाए हैं.
अच्छा,
Just for the just for the record.
I can
हाँ.
almost feel like a lot of people going like while listening to this interview, like clicking on their computers trying to find out your wife's name now. You might as well just give it away.
Yeah, actually, yeah, but yeah, no, I think because genuinely keeping tracking passwords in your head is such a task, And nowadays, so, I mean, everything is asking you. You have to have one special character, one alphabet, some numerals, something. So I think typically what people go is for the name and the birth date. I mean, birth date आप किसे डालो, that's your thing. But I think that's very important. Like. To keep a very, very secure password. That's really the thing.
No, absolutely. And on that note, like you very rightly said that people should start taking their passwords very seriously. Like we are not like, I mean, cyber crimes have increased and we all know that passwords can be stolen very easily. I think one other
Exactly.
common mistake that a lot of people do is keep one password for all their accounts, whether it's a social media account or whether it's a bank account, because it's
Exactly.
just easier to
Exactly.
remember.
Yeah. One advice which I give everybody, especially this is a very genuine advice. I know jokes over here. I as a policy never use my banking app on my phone. You know. So there are two, three good फायदा. एक तो क्या होता है because if your phone gets hacked, your phone gets lost, and if your banking app is already there, people know who you're banking with. Number one,
Right.
whoever stolen your phone, and sometimes I don't know, they can hack into that and immediately get access to my bank account. And the second good idea is that if I have to give money to somebody, suppose I owe you money, you will tell me, Atul, मुझे अभी you owe me 5,000 अभी भेजो. So I say that, yeah, I don't have banking app on my phone. मैं घर जाऊंगा अपने लैपटॉप के थ्रू करूंगा. So that also gives me good time to delay your payment. So it's a
Right.
good tactic. If you want to delay somebody's payment, कि मेरे phone पे है ही नहीं, मेरे लैपटॉप पे है, अब मैं घर जाऊंगा, 2 दिन, 4 दिन, 5 दिन के बाद आपको पैसा दूंगा. Because in earlier days when there were no banking apps and all, there was an excuse a lot of people used to do while giving checks. Post dated check देते थे.
Yeah.
नहीं अभी बॉस का हाथ खराब है, साइन नहीं कर सकते चेक. These are a lot of excuses I have heard in my
Yes.
life.
Yeah.
आज वेनेसडे है, बॉसेस वेनेसडे को चेक साइन नहीं करते. इसे क्यों? इसी नहीं, बॉसेस का एक वो थ्योरी है कि वेनेसडे को साइन. अरे खाना खाते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं, तो साइन भी कर सकते हैं चेक. नहीं सर, बॉसेस ओनली साइन चेक ऑन फ्राइडे. एंड देन फ्राइडे व्हेन यू कॉल देम अप, नहीं आज तो बॉस आया ही नहीं है, तो साइन हुए नहीं, अभी नेक्स्ट फ्राइडे आप आइए. I'm telling you, I can write a book on how people used, that check signing and to just delay payments of yours.
So we look
So
forward to that book. But while you say, Atul, about all this, that you don't have a banking app on your phone, I think for most of us, and I'm talking about the majority of us who find it so convenient to have it on our phones.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure that with what you're thinking is right, but I think even when you have that app on your phone, I think that having it like password protected is very, very essential, right? And
absolutely,
having a
absolutely. And
password.
nowadays, most apps have, the finger protection or with some biometrics. So please do get your biometrics enabled on if your app supports it. I'm sure most apps will support it. Maybe through Face ID or maybe through a thumb imprint. So please do that. And also remember when you're on your banking app, please remember to log out of it. After you finish your work, because sometimes people forget and it can just be lying open
Yes.
on your thing. And you've heard so many stories that people's money just goes like I mean, you have to realize the hackers over there are a very different breed. They've been trained, they've been they work day in day out to hack people's accounts. So they're much much more एक तो ज्यादा वेले भी हैं आपसे, उनको काम नहीं है. Their only thing is to hack your phone. And number two is they're very smart enough, they can within minutes your money can go. And then there's very nothing much you can do about it. But obviously there's cyber police and things like that. But other than that, it's like if you keep your, like I'll tell you, if you keep your door of your house open, okay, and then अगर कल चोरी हो गई and then you complain, यार मेरी चोरी हो गया, अरे तो दरवाजा खोल के रखा था.
Absolutely, yes.
You have to lock your doors different times in the night, check all your balcony doors. And then if something is, then it, obviously there's not much to it, but basic topic, basic requirement you have to do it.
Absolutely, yes. No, you're right. And another thing I think that also people fall for very easily is phishing, right? I mean, बहुत पहले तक मुझे लगता था phishing, when people used to talk about a phishing scam, when I was like back in school, I used to think that they're talking about, actually phishing,
Yeah.
hook, line, sinker, but I think that's where it comes from, right? And
I'm
and
sure
people
it comes from
fall
that
so
only because that's
easily
what
to it. And there was a very good Netflix series on it called Jam Tara, where they spoke about phishing. And everything that we watched in there is everything I think that all of us have gone through at some point. We get such calls. What's
Yeah.
your take on this?
So many times I'm sitting with my wife and I can see the thing happening where a call comes in or something comes in or one of those things comes in that your electricity will be cut tomorrow if you don't click on this link right now, kind of a thing. And I said, no, please, like you have to be a little smart enough not to fall into these types. But I open, I am an old man, so I read the newspaper. If you read the newspaper, there is at least some 4 or 5 cases of how people have been fallen to these phishing attacks. So guys, be very very careful. बात ही मत करो किससे अपने मतलब मदर इन लॉ का भी फोन है मत उठाओ पता नहीं she must be phishing your account or something. So be extremely careful. It's a very tough. You have to understand everything digital right now, and you have to be very very smart about it. And the most time you do phishing account, I know sometimes it happens when you're so busy, and you're in a meeting or suddenly आ जाता है and you think, oh my god, my शायद मैंने electricity का bill नहीं भरा. You go click the link and within five. I don't know, 5 minutes or something, you'll suddenly see that your bank account has been wiped out because you, without knowing, gave some OTP. That guy put some PC anywhere, some remote monitoring software on your phone. Your banking app is open, and within seconds, all your money goes away.
Yeah.
The regular phishing scandal is you heard about people searching for alcohol on Google, and they come up with some alcohol, जो क्या बोलते हैं, wine shop in the nearby area, which is obviously it's a fake thing. People call up and say कि हाँ मुझे ये दारू चाहिए. Like, please stop drinking also. Okay.
Yeah.
These are all vices which get into the major vice of your account getting this. Yeah.
No,
Sometimes
absolutely.
you have to go back to your basics. You have to go back to your basics, and because I think people have got too used to a life where everything is on their phone, and but sometimes you have to be very very careful of that. It's a dangerous world out there. There are like hackers like who have been having all tools in their hands. They have got the super tools, super softwares with them where they can within minutes get into your phone and things. The classic thing where the phone hears everything you say, correct? I
Right.
mean, I'm sure everybody has experienced that. If you can imagine that how technology, your own phone is just hearing every conversation you're making with your wife or with your children, and then giving you
Yeah.
ads. Can you imagine what they can do when they have the regular tools? Yeah. So guys, be extremely careful, especially of this phishing. And I totally agree with you. It's that same kind of phishing. You keep on throwing your rods, हाँ तो मछली पकड़ जाएगी. Be sure that you are not the मछली.
But has this ever happened with you? But you seem to be somebody who's extremely careful of all this, and you seem to be somebody who, like you said, is still going by the basics and not fallen into the technology trap. But has this ever happened to
It
you?
actually happened to
Around
me
you?
just it has a cat. I mean, I didn't get into it, but I immediately recognized it. For example, I had a no, I had a 2 month tour, a world tour of my shows. I did a lot of ads on Meta on Facebook. I was running a lot of ads
Right.
promoting my show. And it's like 2 days back, I got an email saying that one of your ads has violated copyright terms of Facebook, blah, 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 blah. And if you don't click on this link right now, your Facebook account will get deactivated within 48 hours, And
Hmm.
it's a very legit emails, look very legit. And I went and clicked on this. So it asked it asked me for my Facebook page name, which I gave it. It asked me for my name. It asked me for my email address. उधर तक ठीक है. Next one I clicked, he said, enter your password of Facebook. Okay. तो मैंने बोला यार Facebook है, तूने मुझे मेल भेजा है. You should be knowing my password.
Yeah.
That's what a red flag. Why the hell are you asking for my password? And
Right.
then I went and checked on the mail का जो header होता है, okay, who has sent it. It was something very vague kind of thing. So sometimes, you can come to know by the English which they write sometimes is wrong. You know,
Yes.
so you can come to know, you can see some spelling, you know, spelling mistakes are there. So that's one giveaway. It's a phishing attack. But most of the times, you know, you have to be just very smart. I don't want to give you a password here. If you know, if you are Facebook, you should know my password. You know,
Right.
and so I also went. This was the email which had come. Then I skipped that process. Then I went to my Facebook notifications. Now I said, if Facebook is so smart to send me an email, it should have also sent me a notification on my Facebook page. And I checked all my notifications. There was no such message. You know, so it's obviously a phishing attack trying to get into my password. And very careful. Once you get into Facebook, your Instagram is also linked to it. You know, it's
Yes.
the same company. Meta
Yes.
owns Facebook and Instagram. So your Instagram will go. Maybe it has today. They also own WhatsApp. Maybe there's a connection to WhatsApp. So it can lead to every. So it's a very, you know, you have to. It's like uh, you just imagine you're walking every day on a street full of thieves around you. You are trying to protect your wallet. That's the kind of thing, you know. You have to be
Right.
extremely careful. Yeah. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think for someone like you or an influencer or even a micro influencer for that matter, getting your social media account hacked is a big thing, right? Because it has taken a lot
Oh,
of
it's a
efforts to
pain. Yeah.
garner
It's a
your
pain.
viewer base. So you have to start literally from scratch, and that's not going to be easy.
Absolutely. It's crazy because you've spent so much time, like some of, a lot of us, and at least a lot of Instagram influencers, you know, we live thanks to social media. You know, we sell
Yes.
tickets on social media. We, you know, bring out a voice on social media. And that voice only if it's cut out, then yeah, it's a very dangerous life out there, you know.
Yeah, it truly is. I mean, these days, a lot of a lot of Facebook accounts are hacked, or a lot of social media accounts are hacked. And then people, pehle people used to announce in a relationship, or,
Hmm.
single or newly single. आजकल ऐसा मतलब, I have been hacked. ऐसे बड़े-बड़े शब्दों में, like, they will put it there. So
हाँ,
what is this? Like people think like, and they will say it very proudly, hack हो गया account.
हाँ.
Like, what's with this, like, wearing like this badge of honor, ki I've been hacked? I mean, you're
I
just
think
being
it's a bad of,
ridiculous,
you know,
right? Your password was
if
not good enough.
if you were a single person and I was dating you and your account had been hacked, I would have left you. If you cannot protect your account, what will you protect me in life?
अच्छा,
So it,
generally with men, it's the other way around. No, women will ask,
हाँ,
अच्छा,
yeah,
तुम्हारा
yeah.
account hack हो गया, तुम क्या मुझे protect करोगे?
Oh, exactly. No, today it can work both ways, but I'm just saying that, yeah, that's really the thing that if you can't protect your account, तो मेरी life कैसे protect करोगे? आगे जाके हमारे बच्चों को कैसे protect करोगे? तो अपना account और so proudly like have been hacked, you know? It's like, you know, flashing on your forehead. I think it's a stupid thing. You have to be, you have to like, I think just warn people that you have been hacked so that, you know, it doesn't come in, you know, आजकल वो होता है ना, they hack your account and then they will send a message to all the friends saying that, hey, I'm stuck somewhere, I need money. And you know, वो जो होता है, and then people even send money to them, you know. That's
Yeah.
very, I mean, I've read some cases in the newspaper where some MD of the company's account got hacked. Then from the email, he started sending messages to all his employees, hey, I'm in London or
Yes.
something. And can you send me money? I've got stuck. My wallet has been stolen. And you know, the company actually sent that guy money, thinking that it's his MD. अरे फोन उठा के बात करके पूछो यार इतना किसी के email पे करना है, you know.
Correct, absolutely right. I mean, there are, like you mentioned, there are red flags that we sometimes people tend to ignore. One of the red flags, like you said, was the language itself. I mean, sometimes
Yeah,
in your case, it was Facebook, but in general, when it happens, it's somebody that you have known. So
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
kind of like very easy to spot the red flag, that they don't talk like this. So why suddenly are they talking to us
yeah,
like
yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
that happened to me recently. One of my friends' account was hacked, and she messaged saying, I need money on Instagram. I was like, why is she messaging me on Instagram?
They called me. If you needed money, right? I mean, yeah, but
No,
actually, आजकल की problem people don't have your phone. So everything is on your phone. You know what I'm saying? Nobody
yeah,
remembers phone numbers. It's all on the name it's stored. You know.
yes. No,
So
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the first thing that struck me was that I need to ask this person about something that only they know and
Correct.
nobody else knows, right? Like what, like we met a few days
Yeah,
ago. What happened then?
yeah, correct. Exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah. I think
people
those are
just
the
need to be a
few
little
red flags.
alert.
Yeah. वैसे तो even if my children call up, I don't give them money. If Papa, I say hello. I think it's a hack. Sorry, मैं phone कर देता हूँ.
So account has been hacked. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. But एक और चीज है जो इट्स वेरी बैफलिंग टू मी इज दिस कैप्चा टेस्ट. राइट.
Oh
मतलब
my God. हाँ,
व्हाट इज दिस टेस्ट लाइक. एक रोबोट मुझसे पूछ रहा है दैट आर यू अ रोबोट. Like it's just
हाँ,
ridiculous. And then they will give
exactly.
some like very weirdly designed things that I have to like guess what they are trying to write. It's like my child writing.
Exactly. And the
मतलब
worst part is when there's an O. You don't know it's an O or a
or a
zero.
zero.
Okay. So whenever
Absolutely.
when I see a captcha which has an O or like a zero, like a round kind of a thing, I always say, show me the next option. Because I said, I'm not spending twice zero डालो या O डालो. एक तो तुम्हारे, as you said, the characters are so, as if, some child has written it, 1-year-old child has written the alphabet, so you can't figure them out. And then you're trying to, and usually it's the second factor. You put in a password and then it asks for a captcha also. You know, I don't know if the captcha really works, but I'm sure it must be working. That's why they have it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think a captcha is in a way for people, especially people who are fairly dumb, who don't follow, who don't know what's really happening out there, who are not very careful, in spite of, the cyber police. Every day, again, I'm an old guy, so read a lot of newspaper. Paper mein aate hain ki please don't open this. The biggest common thing which really baffles me. Every day I wake up in the morning and I read the newspaper. There is some poor lady who was probably not married, was late in life, and then she found this guy on the net, and then he sends a gift. That gift comes to customs, and they say, "Hey, your gift has come. Some diamonds have come. Transfer money to clear the custom." And then people have spent lakhs and crores. I've actually met a woman in my life. She said she met a guy on the plane. On a London Bombay flight, and then this guy said, "Hey, I'm single. I want to get married. I'm looking for an Indian." He was a foreigner, and he scammed her worth 78 lakh rupees. You
Oh
know,
my God.
and poor thing, she said, I don't have now 50,000 in my account, and I have all my money savings. And she was in her late 50s. She was an Air India air hostess, and she said, I have lost 78 lakh rupees, and I don't know what to do. And I really advised, I said, please go to cyber police. It was a very old case. She had, out of embarrassment, she had not told anybody. She was living alone. She said, now money is gone, everything is gone. She's looking so, helpless. I think be very, very careful, and yeah, and I think, I mean, your question about captcha, I think, even though, as you rightly said, it's robo talking to a robo, I think it's important because at least there is some basic level of a second factor authentication. So yeah.
Right. But like you mentioned about, I mean, it's a sad story that you shared about somebody who lost so much money, and talking about people meeting people on dating apps. Have you heard about this dating app called Hackers? It is for hackers.
Is it?
Have you heard about
Is
it?
it?
मतलब कोई
Is it
डिटेल्स
like the
आपको फिल
is it
नहीं
like the
करने
Tinder
बिकॉज
for hackers?
क्योंकि
For
उनके पास
hackers.
ऑलरेडी आपके डिटेल्स है तो आपको डिटेल्स भी फिल नहीं करने हैं उसमें.
Exactly. They know everything, and possibly if it's a hacker talking to a hacker, there must be great conversation, right? Maybe
Yeah.
it's maybe it's just two guys, one guy masquerading as a woman, one guy masquerading as a guy, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's exchanging notes.
Exactly. And he would say, "What's your eye color?" He said, "No, I already know it. I have all your
Right.
details."
Right. But we were on the subject of authentication, right? Like you mentioned that CAPTCHA, like a lot of people are baffled by it, like myself, because
हाँ,
I mean, जब मुझे कोई दिक्कत होती है CAPTCHA पढ़ने में, तो I just call my child, because एक child ही child के handwriting पढ़ सकता है. It's like he recognizes, oh, this is how
exactly.
I write. Oh, my O
Yeah,
always looks like
exactly.
a zero. But talking about authentication, one thing that gives me real anxiety is this two-factor authentication. मुझे बहुत
अच्छा.
डर लगता है, like I'm like, अच्छा, I'm not going to get in if I get this wrong. Like the anxiety of failing
Yeah,
myself.
it's a एग्जाम है, स्कूल का एग्जाम है कि आप कितना याद है आपको. And
Yeah,
sometimes the two factor authentication, like I didn't know. Once on recently, as I said, I was abroad, and luckily my banking app, I was accessing it from my laptop, not on my phone. Once again, I don't have any banking apps on my phone. I was accessing on my laptop, and because I think it came to know I was abroad through the IP address, it suddenly started showing second factor authentication after giving my password. And it was like, what is your mother's father's name? Okay, basically my grandfather's. Now, it didn't say whether it's from the paternal side or from the maternal side.
Right.
मैं thought ऐसा नहीं यार, मतलब मेरे को अपने दादा का नाना का मतलब मॉम के dad का something come, it was very confusing. But fortunately, I mean, it actually like I didn't know his name. I forgot his name. I only would have given the name. The fact he's asking a question. Then I called up my sister and said, "Hey, what was granddad's name?" And then she said, and I put it, and lo and behold, it was right. You know. And then they say, "What's your favorite color? What is your favorite superhero? You know, what is your childhood best friend called? You know." Some of this things actually going back to memory, and you say, "Yeah, my childhood best friend is Ramesh." एक तो उसको तो बहुत एक तो 4 साल से उसको फ़ोन भी नहीं किया। Okay, after this, let me call him up and check this ज़िंदा है कि नहीं। Sometimes two-factor authentication, you know, gets you back to memories, gets you back to nostalgia, it gets you back connecting to your friends maybe, you know. So I think I honestly, I am a big factor of two-factor authentication. You know, बेचारे कुछ कर रहे हैं, वो बोल रहे हैं कि अब तो ताला तो खुल गया, एक ताला खुल गया है, there's one more latch now, the thief is trying to open, and you have to decide whether it's, you know, whether you want to open it for him or not.
Right. But you know, while we joke about it, I think it's a very essential step, right? Because you don't know who's accessing it. And these are the questions that only you know the answers to. In your case, even you
Exactly.
don't know. But
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know.
but I think it's a very tough security system that is much needed in the world where cyber crimes take place like at the drop of a hat. I mean, you don't like they it's become so easy, right, to be hacked. So I think
Yeah.
it's paramount to this. Acha, fun question. If malware were a person, how would you describe them?
I would describe it as like has to be like a thief looking guy. Okay. So you know, I would say maybe very shady. So it has to be a male. I somehow feel all thieves are. I don't think women are not the men are only thieves. Okay, so it's a good way I'm talking. So it has to be a male. First of all, malware has to be a male. So, and you know, maybe a hoodie. You know, maybe some dark glasses. Okay. Uh, not eaten for many days. Patta hoga. You know, and someone very desperate, you know, to basically mask somebody and come inside. You know, so yeah, I don't know. I think that's really my discussion. Somebody who I look at only the person and not trust the person. You know, looks only
Like
shady.
thoda wo that person who's always lurking about and nobody knows about them.
Yeah. He's just hanging around your house and you're looking. Every time you see he's there, you say, "What the hell is he?" Yeah, you know, yeah.
It's like शादी में जाना है एवरीबडी की ये आपके गेस्ट है क्या?
हाँ.
हाँ नहीं नहीं
Exactly.
लड़के वाले से होंगे नहीं लड़की वाले से होंगे इट्स लाइक दैट वेरी
हाथ
बैड
हाथ में लिफाफा भी नहीं उनका.
हाँ करेक्ट
No लिफाफा, yeah.
राइट बट यू नो another thing I always like I hear people talking about is like using this public Wi-Fi. एक तो वो use करते वक्त भी like I feel like कि अच्छा password correct डाला है नहीं डाला है. Even when I go to a local Starbucks, it's like they will very confidently say it's just common for all. You know, what do you
Yeah.
think about like using public Wi-Fi's, and do you think that could be risky as well?
Especially, you know, when you're traveling abroad. Okay?
Hmm.
Nowadays, so what has happened is like most of the telecom operators, because that's very practical, I'm telling you, most telecom, like I recently went for 2 months, 1 month to the US, 1 month to the Europe and London, and I have a Vodafone Idea phone, and they had got like global roaming, you know, 5,000 rupees they charge for the entire month, unlimited data, and also that
Hmm.
worked very well for me because then I don't have to rely on the public Wi-Fi. I may use it. I've been comfortable using it in my hotel room. You're staying in a good hotel. You know, you have taken, usually they also have a password that, you know, their last name and your room number or things like that. That is
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But yes, especially going to like a McDonald's or a Starbucks, as you said, a public Wi-Fi. And sometimes some of the streets are public Wi-Fi. Like I remember recently in Frankfurt, that entire shopping area had a public Wi-Fi. So you opened Wi-Fi, there was like a free Wi-Fi, great signal strength. And I thought of using it. I said, no, yeah, but I already have my own free data through my Vodafone Idea. Let me use that. Why should I go to that? So you have to be again very careful because you don't know who's hacking around, who's hacking around the corner, you know, trying to get inside your system. And many times, you know, you know, The worst part is in most of the things, they have a terms and conditions and you just, I agree and go. I mean, क्या है terms and conditions you don't know. So all you know is they say, they're written over there, hey guys, we're going to hack into your phone, steal all your private data because we are giving you this free Wi-Fi and we need something in return. And you are basically giving away your, like, private data. Like, what was that company? I think closed down, I forget the name, some few years back, where conditions, I agree that you sign up to the service. You are giving all your data to them on a silver platter. ये है मेरा data. Because then it's like, we'll have access to your phone. We'll take all your contacts databases and all, but nobody's reading that. सब चलो यार free में है करो.
Right.
Whenever you sign up for any of these free services, including Instagram and things, you are basically the bakra. You are giving your data to them. They are giving you free service
Yes.
because they need your shopping pattern, they need your life pattern, they need your friend circle, they need all your, because then they sell that data to some shopping company and say, कि ये देखो, ये Atul Khatri, 55 years old, Bombay, likes to wear Nike shoes because he buys Nike, he's this, he's that. And it's like a gold mine you're giving it to advertisers.
Absolutely. Yes. No, that is true. And like you said, they are all listening to us.
That is always listening to us.
You know, in fact, very interestingly, the new season of Black Mirror's first episode is about this.
Yeah,
Like, how
exactly.
do
Yeah,
they
yeah.
know
I saw
about our
that.
life? It's like, yeah, very
Yeah,
interesting
yeah,
and kind of scared me. But I think it's good to
Tone
be
is
scared.
awful, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Joan is awful. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
One
And Black Mirror is really I mean, people over there, I mean, kids over there who are into Netflix and see the Black Mirror, even earlier, the episode seasons and things like that. Some of them are like easy, yeah, you know. Yeah,
yeah,
you were saying something.
no, and some of them are like absolutely relevant, right? Like I think a lot of us live it. And it's like,
Yeah,
what is
just to yeah, exactly. Because that one episode I remember where the lady wants to go to her friend's wedding, and the only way she can get to her friend's wedding is her social media numbers are
yes,
at
yes,
particular
yes,
level,
yes,
and because of that, she's being very good to people. Because every time she's good to people, her social media ranking increases. And then one fine day she bangs the car and she gets a swear word, and
yes,
her ranking starts falling. And then she's so just desperate because a friend has said, only if you have this much social media ranking will you be allowed for my wedding party. And that is so true because if you look at it, all of us every day are just looking at our social media numbers, have my likes increased. It's such a, as it's just a dopamine hit. Every time somebody likes your picture on Instagram, you get a dopamine hit, a positive feeling. Oh my God, I've got 2,000 likes on my picture. I'm not joking. I have got sometimes friends of mine calling me and saying, hey, Atul, I put up this picture. I only got 200 likes. Can you tell me what's wrong in this picture? And I said, nothing is wrong in the picture. Something is wrong with you. Just leave your phone alone.
yeah.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, that is how it has become, right? Everybody lives for social media. Everybody does things for social media. I mean, it's
that's it.
like my every time I log into Facebook, it's like flooded with somebody's travel pictures or somebody's food pictures, and they all
Everybody wants to put up the best things. Can you imagine the pressure it puts on somebody who does not having that life?
yes,
I'm,
absolutely.
Honestly, even I am also to be blamed for that because when we also travel, you obviously put the best things like that. It's, I don't know whether we are trying to show off or we are just trying to maybe share the world with everybody. It can be looked in two different ways.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
have all categorized themselves into those, like I will put up travel pictures and I will put up like food pictures.
food picture. Yeah,
Somebody else will put up things about their child. I mean, it's good to understand from maybe mom influencers, like they call themselves now, to understand about parenting. But it's a completely different ball game for the child also, right? Like every day you're putting them in front of the camera and you're
exactly,
recording them,
exactly. Which,
and you're
yeah,
putting
yeah.
out their lives also on social media, and in a way kind of like inviting a lot of trouble.
Especially, I mean, I get sometimes very appalled when I see, these mom influencers or people who are putting up these child pictures. And I think children should not be exposed, at least in 13, 14, you know, when you take the consent, can I put up a picture on social media? Because I think that's very, very important.
No, I think we kind of deviated from what we were talking about, which is cybersecurity, but very relevant everything that you just said, because even the check-in option is like that, right? It's literally inviting people to say that I'm here right now in this location. That's
Exactly,
that's equally
exactly.
risky and dangerous.
Once it happened to us, some 3, 4 comedians, we were performing in Gujarat. And typically, I think we were in Surat, and after Surat, you go to these dhabas to have all these egg dishes, very famous in Surat. And we were like 2, 3 comedians, and some of them are very, very more popular than me also. So we all went to the egg dhaba, and we just clicked up. One of us clicked a selfie and put it up on Instagram. And we were surprised as soon as we finished dinner, within like 30 minutes, there were a group of like 50, 60 fans waiting outside the dhaba. Okay, and I said, how did you see us? Saying, no, sir, you put up the picture. Piche, ulta tha obviously, but we could see the dhaba's name. Okay,
Wow.
it was not the full name, just the logo and all. And because they were locals, they know kahan kaun sa dhaba tha hai, you know. So there was some from some nearby engineering college. Suddenly they put up on their WhatsApp group, ke, hey, these comedians are sitting in this dhaba. We are going in our bikes. Jisko aana hai, aa jao. And suddenly all those guys from their hostel, some 50, 60 of them reached there. They had come in a good thing to take pictures with us, to meet
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
but it can be very wrong. It can be somebody can make a very wrong this check-ins, as you said, or things like that.
Yeah.
Is the worst. I never check in into. I even if I say which hotel I'm staying, I always do it after I leave the hotel. So
Yeah.
it's a security thing. Why you have to let
That
people
makes
know
sense.
you have checked in at the Holiday Inn, wherever. यार सब चोर बनेगा रे चलो गुड है रूम नंबर भी दे दे पासवर्ड भी दे दे हम आते हैं अंदर
No, you're right. You're right. But talking about security, like you mentioned, I think one thing that all of us need to understand is also spyware, right? What do you think about spyware? I don't know what, like maybe somebody may think like it's just kind of like some insect or something. I don't know what spyware is, but could you tell us what you think about spyware?
spyware, malware, all these things
Yeah.
are just variations of different techniques hackers use to sort of just get inside your system. Somebody's continuously spying. There's a very targeted thing where they are looking at your particular phone or a particular your device which they want to hack into. So it's a very planned kind of a thing rather than a very open kind of a thing where they usually it's done to bigger celebrities and things like that, where they want to get inside your where they want to get inside your data. One other thing, sorry, I'm a little bit diverting from this. Recently, I saw a very popular Bollywood actor, I think Varun Dhawan and Kiara, they got married. No? Sid and Kiara.
Yes.
Okay, so they were shopping in Europe, and it came in Bombay Times a picture of Sid holding shopping bags.
Hmm.
Okay, and all the shopping bags, there were no logos, they were all white bags.
Hmm.
Okay, and many of them. And he just said, "Okay, typical, husband doing." It's a very funny kind of a meme. He had put a picture. He put up. Then I asked my daughter, "What are all these white bags?" What she told me is that abroad in Europe and all, when you do this high-end shopping,
Hmm.
like if you buy from Louis Vuitton or Cartier or one of these very expensive things,
Hmm.
at the shops over there, now they give you white bags. So you have a Louis Vuitton bag, carry bag, but they give you one more white bag in which you put that, because when you're traveling on the road,
Hmm.
if you're shopping and also doing sightseeing, the thieves over there watching, okay, what shopping has he done? And with that, they come to know that, okay, he's a rich guy. He's got like
Yes.
LV
How much
bags
money they have
or
spent.
Cartier they have spent. And they will follow you to your hotel and come and rob you in your hotel. So that's why they have these white bag system. In a way, it's like a two-factor authentication. So they
Right.
put a white, it's a simple white bag because they don't want the thieves to know where you shopped at.
Right.
Because Europe and all, let me tell you, people in India, we are very lucky. Europe to alag hi chalta hai. I think they are just thieves on the road. They're seeing which watch you're wearing, what shoes you're wearing, what shopping you're doing, continuously monitored. They're like gangs who are operating, especially in the shopping districts. And, and they see what clothes you're wearing also. And based on that, they decide whether to come and rob you or no in your hotel or over there only. Yeah. So this was just a cover up to the entire earlier thing which you said. But yeah, I think spyware is very, very targeted. And again, it's, like one of the basic things I remember, I was in the computer business,
Yeah.
people used to not spend on an antivirus spyware software, basically. It used
Yes.
to cost like 200, 300 rupees. The people were just not willing to spend. They used to get pirated copies and say, what's wrong with you? It's like you're getting a pirated antivirus software. That's the worst thing. It's
Yeah.
anyway, probably hacked. You are
Yeah.
giving like, come, please take my computer away. Such a basic thing, basic hygiene there is there. Like one of the big things which people don't do is take backups. Okay, I'm asking you, Mansi, you have a laptop, right? When is
Yeah.
the last time you took a full backup of a laptop?
You put me in a spot.
Yeah, please tomorrow go and buy like an external hard disk, depending on the size of your hard disk of your laptop. Please go tomorrow or buy online, get it tomorrow, put it
Never.
in a thing, and just do an entire backup and take that hard disk and put it in a locker in your house if you have, or in your bank locker. Because today everything is data. Today, your this entire interview is maybe recorded in your thing. Tomorrow, if your laptop gets spoiled, also your hard disk crashes or it gets stolen, at least you have your data. This is
Right.
a very basic thing people just don't follow. And I used to get appalled. I used to see like PhD scientists. They were my clients, and super scientists. And I said, sir, backup. He said, "No, we didn't take a backup."
नहीं
I
है.
said, all your data is here, your entire life work is in this device. It's a device, it's not made by God, it's made by human beings, it's made by these computer companies. They can fail. So just a simple thing. It's a part of this entire security thing. Because if you have your data, if somebody hacks your thing, takes away your data, at least you have a copy of your data. Such a simple thing. It can be today come on a pen drive also. Today you have very high, capacity pen drives, USB pen drives, you can better that. But typically a hard disk should do your job.
Yes.
And spyware is obviously one. See, they may take your data, they may hack your system, they may corrupt your system. But at least if you have your data, you at least you have a piece of. I, as a habit, take my backups. Again, I'm an old man, so so as a habit, every 3 months I've got 3 hard disks. I take it on different hard disks. It's a process I follow. And it
Right.
has saved me a lot. It has saved me a lot. Like once or twice I've forgotten my laptop in my coffee shop. And my only thought was, when did I last take my backup? So I said, okay, 15 days back. So I may have lost 15 days worth of data. But
Right.
fortunately, I found my laptop back. It was still lying in the coffee shop. Nobody took it.
Right.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
important.
no, I'm taking your advice very seriously because I agree with you that taking backup is very essential. But like you mentioned in the beginning of this interview, human race is very lazy. So am I.
Yeah,
So, it's like kal le lungi. Procrastination is in the DNA, right? Like
yeah,
kal le lungi
yeah,
backup, because these things are so small for us in the larger scheme of things that we just don't pay attention, and we don't realize that they are actually something that may save us a lot of pain later in life. Like
correct.
you
And
said,
also, even on your phone, all your memories are now photographs. Your best memories, you know, are stored on your phone. If you don't take a backup of your phone, also, today most phones have a connector. Just connected to your laptop. Just do a go and have your meal and just do copy paste, and it's just copying all your photographs onto your laptop or to some other device. Such a simple thing. Just
right.
I know people who said that I had my mom's last picture with me on my phone and my phone crashed. You know, and that's such an important piece of memory, because nowadays nobody's clicking pictures. पुराने जमाने में हम albums में डालते थे.
Yeah.
Stored it inside a
Not-
cupboard. अपने bed के नीचे सब albums होते थे. अभी तो वो है ही नहीं है. So you have to be very careful about all this.
Yes, absolutely. Atul, would firewall also be something like spyware, malware? Can you explain a little bit about firewall?
So firewall is just obviously a device. It's usually a software or a hardware device.
Hmm.
Usually in there are two types of firewall. One, you can have a firewall in your computer as a software firewall, or in a bigger network you can have a device which basically it will tell you, first of all, it can block for certain websites. So in many companies, like
Hmm.
like my company, when we used to install these firewalls,
Hmm.
you can just simply say that uh, all shopping websites to not be allowed. So if
Right.
you're working in a big company, if you go to Myntra.com, it will not allow you to go there, because
Okay.
that's a protocol. They said, okay, first of all, it's an office environment. Keep your shopping to your house. मेरे office में बैठ के आप shopping मत करो. Okay.
Right.
Things have changed now. Companies have become more open. They are giving more people. For example, even like a lot of companies had this policy that from office laptop you cannot access Facebook,
Yes.
or dating websites, or sex related websites. So these
Hmm.
are very basic firewalls which you put up in any company. They basically block your access to malicious websites. And also, in a way, it's a firewall. It's like one more protection outside your premises. It's like a moat you have outside your castle, where it doesn't allow invaders to come. It's basically as simple as that. And both ways, you can even anybody hacking from outside, they will not get IP address of your laptop. It will be like, it will be
Right.
masked and
Okay.
things like that, you know. So I think again, for bigger companies, smaller companies, and even software firewall. So even on your laptop, you can have a firewall which will exactly take. So for example, if you suppose you have a young child and once in a while you give the child a phone
Hmm.
to see YouTube pay something. Galti se if the child opens some malicious website, you know, you are away cooking and your child is having
Hmm.
access to your phone and, you know, suddenly goes to a different website. You should not give access to that. He or she should only be access to, you know, whatever Peppa or whatever
Hmm.
things kids watch nowadays, you know,
Yeah.
baby TV or
Got
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
Right, right. Thank you. Thank you for explaining that. You mentioned earlier how we are so used to checking terms and conditions without reading them, like just accepting everything. I think one thing that we all accept, and I am also guilty of that at many points, is accepting cookies. When you log onto a website, they say accept all cookies. We just say accept all cookies because we want
Yes.
instant access to it. Can you
Yeah.
tell
We're
us
so
about
impatient.
yeah,
Yeah.
can you tell us about this, for in layman's term that we would understand what cookies are about and
Even I am a
how
layman,
to approach
but
it?
yeah, I think again, cookies are nothing but small pieces of software which the website puts
Hmm.
on your phone. One is so that next time when you go, you have easy access. It will not ask you for the second time because you have already accepted cookies. Cookies are basically small bits of software which they embed on your, again, taking data from your phone. You don't know what they are, you know, and especially, see, I would say like if I go to a Google Mail or some kind of a reputed website, they're putting cookies, I will still accept it in a way
Hmm.
because you know, but especially you know websites, shopping websites, you know, you go to Instagram, suddenly you'll see this dress. My God, this dress is just 400 rupees, you know, and it will take you to a website. And my wife got duped in the pandemic. You know, she was so bored sitting at home. She went and bought a kurta, which was like some 2,000 rupees, and she felt it was damn good for 2,000 rupees. It was and she went and bought it and she paid online. Ajkal, everything is so easy. Go, it's
Yeah.
linked to your GPay. Just go to GPay. Within seconds, money goes.
Yes.
And after some 4 days, a package did come, but it was just a piece of cloth, nothing else.
Oh
So it
my.
was just like a a kurta, unstitched kurta, but you know, very bad quality, which should not be more than 200 rupees, but she spent 2,000 rupees on it. So, you know, so cookies, again, coming back to cookies, small bits of software which the website puts, trying to get more information out of you, and in a way you have accepted it, so they have access to your data again. Again, cookies, I would say from untrusted website, new websites, please don't accept cookies.
Right. All right. All right. That makes it much simpler to understand why cookies are there in place. Because, yeah, like I said, we are all guilty of it. It may be impatience or maybe just lack of awareness about what they are about. So easy to click on accept all cookies.
Exactly.
जल्दी जल्दी सब करना है, जल्दी जल्दी खरीदना भी है, जल्दी
Yeah,
जल्दी
yeah.
करना भी है.
Remember,
So
cookies have got a lot of sugar, it can harm your health, so don't accept all cookies.
no, no. Atul, before we close this interview, just a very light question for you. What do you think is a hacker's favorite type of music?
Hacker's favorite ever? No, I know it's a PJ. Tell me, what is it?
No, is it big heavy metal because of all the hardcore key smashing of smooth jazz for easygoing password steal? And you have to excuse my humor here.
No, no, that's okay. No, no, I think it is, if it's a hacker, they're composed. I think it's going to be soft classical music because I'm assuming the hacker's an intelligent guy. He's sitting with his phone playing soft classical because most creative people, you know, they like this classical music to be played while they're working. You know, heavy metal, maybe, beautiful, you know, Mozart or some kind of, and he's so happy in that zone, hacking into your computer, taking your data. Let's give them that very, when you see some, you know, movies also like that, you see that, you know, the main protagonist is always in a the classic guy, classical music, well-tasted guy. He's just out to steal your money.
I
And
can
doing it in a very smooth, suave way. Yeah,
Yeah, while listening to you, I could almost hear a soft violin music going on, like
yeah. And he's just going and saying, thank you for not doing two-factor authentication. Thank you for putting your password at your name at 1 2. You know, he's just happy and just taking your data away, taking your money away.
yeah, just keep them coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Atul, thank you so much for this very
Thank you,
wonderful
Mansi. Thank you.
conversation. You gave us a lot of insights. You also entertained us a little bit. So thank you so much for making our day today.
Thank
And
you.
on
Thank you.
that note, look forward to more such conversations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, man. Thank you, everyone.